ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Excuse me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. Yes, I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's that time of the week for the Midday Market Report with good friend and colleague, Mr. Andrew McInnis, live to talk some NHL pucks, props, and thoughts. The headliner today, can the Habs strike lightning tonight as they host the Tampa Bay Lightning currently at the Circa? Good morning, Mr. Benson, Mr. Stevens. The Montreal Canadiens minus 113 favorites. You can grab the Lightning at plus 101 if you like the dog. Under over 6 minus 120. First one to 4 wins, I guess. That's what they're saying. So anyways, first and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsor and partnerships. It's WagerWire. It's WagerWire. There you go. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play. Download the app. It is free. And, of course, AtlantaSteaksAndSeafood.com. Steaks, seafood, chops, appetizers, wine. Terry does it all. Head on over to AtlantaSteaksAndSeafood.com for 'tis the season deals. Without further ado, let's bring him on. Andrew McInnis. What's up, Andrew?
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm feeling a bit stressed for my Montreal Canadiens tonight, if I'm being honest. I'm a little bit worried about them tonight, Jeff. But other than that, not too bad. It's getting a little chilly. We had our first little snowfall here yesterday. So the dog was happy. I was not happy. So only one of us in the house actually enjoyed that. But yeah, looking forward to the NHL, man. I'm telling you, this condensed schedule with the Olympics, it's got this Eastern Conference doing something really special right now. I mean, the Maple Leafs yesterday, they were 4 points or 6 points away from first spot in the division, and they were like second or third last in the division at the same time. Like, it is unbelievable what we're seeing right now, currently with this Eastern Conference, especially.
Well, I'm looking at the landscape of the NHL and what we try to do. I've actually tweaked a few things for the ECSI VIPs. We've been very successful of late on the Frozen Pond and the pucks. Been real successful with some team totals like the Ducks. The other night, they almost put up 60 shots on net. The Capitals, another team that we've done very well. Trying to really tweak some first period overs. And I've been extending the juice on some of these, but obviously highlighting, use the risk button again, because we're dipping into waters that we normally don't do. As we get into December, Andrew, wrapping up 2025, what you've seen so far, any tweaks that you've been doing or your eyes are seeing or you're trying to adjust on the fly here?
I'll tell you one thing I have not been as worried to do lately, and this applies for some teams that we'll see this week, and unfortunately, some teams tonight, but I have not been as afraid to go against bet on teams that are on the second half of back-to-back. In years past, it was always like, oh, second half of back-to-back, we have to go against this team, Jeff, right? Like, you have to. Who's making us do that, right? Like, these are professional athletes. They're in great shape, and especially with teams coming off the loss, unfortunately, like Tampa Bay are, which is why I'm very worried. But yeah, that's one angle I've been looking at. And, you talk about the juice and the risk and things like that. I'll tell you, last year, that plus 110 with our team totals was about as money as you could get. And then now I've been a little more selective, but I have been willing to dip into the minus 110s, the 115s with those team totals. And I'll tell you, these 6.5s, these games are 6.5 for a reason. I'd love to know what the data is right now, but looking at a lot of these 6.5s, like, I'm not one that likes to touch sixes. I think it's same for you because a lot of times you're just getting the push, right? Regardless of who wins, you're getting the push. You might as well pick a team total. But I've definitely been trying to pick off some of those 6.5s and try and have success that way. And I'll tell you, I've really been trying to, look at which teams are going to turn the corner, but which teams are going to fade off. These teams are playing so many games in a short period of time. Look at the Boston Bruins. What does everyone think about them right now? It's different than how they felt about them 2 weeks ago. The Pittsburgh Penguins, how did people feel about them at the start of the year? How do people feel about them right now? Look at the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, all of a sudden they get humbled in a couple of games in a row, and they're not the same team they once were. So very interested to see. I was talking to Carmine, who I host Puck Time with, and he thinks this is the time that we might start seeing some regression for some of these underdogs and the big dogs start to take over. So I'll be curious to see how that works out.
Let's start out west where we usually do the Colorado Avs and their march to Lord Stanley's Cup. Mr. McInnis.
Yeah,
Their offense is just second to none. And when we talk offense, we're always talking the Oilers. We're always talking, of course, Connor McDavid. But yet it's the Avs that are just dominating at this point. And it was so early. It's the usual cast of characters, the Avs. Then we talk about the Oilers. We talk about Vegas. And, of course, we can't leave out our dear darlings in Dallas, the Stars. Give us the temperature and your eyes currently in the NHL West.
Well, watch out for the Oilers because they got a pretty good scheduling spot here tonight. They're finding their offense a bit, and you know how they work. This team works in waves. I've talked a lot about, sometimes finding ways to bet on teams when they're hot, finding ways to bet against teams when they're hot. This is an Oilers team that you just know what you're going to get with them. They're either hot or they're either cold, Jeff. And right now, this Oilers team is heating up, especially offensively. As far as the Dallas Stars are concerned, just a little bit of injury issue for them right now. Tyler Seguin, of course, the ACL injury, the injury monster continues to bother the NHL. Matt Duchene out, Lyubushkin out, and Thomas Harley out. Those are several key players, including a main defender. But I don't think Dallas is catching the Avalanche by any means, but those are the two top dogs. I'd watch out for Vegas. Carter Hart now 2-0 as a goaltender for the Vegas Golden Knights. Some of these guys on offense are starting to pick things
Andrew
up.
Freeze up
Once again. So
Andrew.
Yeah, you're freezing a bit on my end here, Jeff. You got me?
I got you. You froze for a second. We're good.
That's weird. You're frozen for me. Yeah, but I would say that Vegas is probably my team to watch. Looking at schedule forecast, they're a team I'm looking at right now.
Back east, you talk about the Bruins. You can't talk about the Bruins. Talk about the Bruins without Mr. Geeky. I don't know. I just don't know. I just got to ride the wave there. The Panthers will be the Panthers. We know you always talk about the Leafs, the Rangers. Give me the temperature. Here come the Canes. Give me a temperature report back east.
Jeff, I watched an interview on Spit and Chicklets with Morgan Geeky. What a great guy. Awesome interview. The guy still doesn't realize he's a superstar yet. Like, it's like, dude, you are a star right now. Like, whether you want to admit it or not, you're doing great things over there in Boston. So good to see. A storyline right now in the NHL, I'd say, would be the New Jersey Devils, taking a little bit of heat right now. Without Jack Hughes, they kind of took some bumps in the road. And They've lost a couple games in a row, so we'll see what can happen. I think Jack Hughes might get back sooner than later, but hasn't been great for them. And kind of funny, one team that they're playing tonight is another team that's been struggling a little bit. That's the Ottawa Senators. So it's one of those situations, Jeff, where it's like, well, one of them has to win tonight. One of these teams has to come out on top. So we'll see. The Maple Leafs, look, I got to give them credit. I'm always going to chirp them, but hey, my Habs got it done against them on Saturday. I was a happy camper this weekend, but credit when credit is due. Last night, Monday night, it's prime hockey in Canada, and you know what? They absolutely put on a show, especially in goal. I thought Tampa Bay was the better team for the first 30-ish minutes of that game, but after that, the Maple Leafs took over. A lot of chances created, and they're on their third string goaltender right now. And he's got, I think, 2 shutouts and three starts this season. So he's been really good. The Florida Panthers, I'm very curious what the deal is with these guys. They're going to kind of try and hang in the mix until they get healthy and then take that sudden surge. The team I'm very curious about the most, or I'll give you 2 teams, one in each division. The Detroit Red Wings and the New York Islanders. Those are 2 teams to watch out for because last year, we can't forget, in the Eastern Conference, there were 2 wildcard teams from the Atlantic Division. This year, we're looking at potentially could be 2 wildcard teams from the Metropolitan or 1 from each. So very interested to see what happens here, Jeff, with this here.
Well, big slate tonight. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in all. You talked about last year's system and the team totals. The 2 that would hit the system tonight would be the Flyers, team total over 3.5 plus 109. And then with a little extra juice would be the Dallas Stars as they travel to Winnipeg, team total over 3.5 there, plus 128. We've kind of stayed a little away there. They haven't been cashing there, but a lot to talk about tonight. I know you have another show in a few minutes. Can't make Dan upset there, of course. So this segment we always go to is Andrew McInnis's pucks, props, and thoughts.
It's really, really, really hard to stay away from that first period over in the Tampa and Montreal game tonight. If there was one that really stood out to me, it was that one. I just think that, Jeff, sometimes with these first period overs, number one, you got to look to back skilled teams. You can't always bet the first period system when you've got a bad team coming off a game in which they were shut out. Who's interested in betting on a bad team to put some goals on the board? But what I like even more is when a team is off a shutout in which they were just absolutely locked down. Like they didn't really, they didn't really have any trouble creating chances. They just couldn't score. So getting the chance to play the next day is going to be beneficial for them. But what I love the most about this, Jeff, is that this isn't just a singular system play. We've seen this happen a handful of times, and man, oh man, it's been really good. This is the double system play. The New York Islanders shut out the Tampa Bay Lightning the game before that. The combined score for the Tampa Bay Lightning against their opponents in the last 2 games, 4 for their opponents, 0 for them. The exact same score line in back-to-back games. So first period over 1.5 goals is a good play. And Montreal played St. Louis on Sunday. They will feel like they deserved a better result. They played better for 55 minutes, Jeff. And I watch all the games. They gave up 2 goals in 39 seconds. 2 goals in 39 seconds. That was about the difference in that game. Unfortunately, you do hate to see it. Jeff, you've seen my picks. I very, very rarely do the regulation stuff anymore. I haven't done a lot of it. I like one regulation play today. It opened up around 115. You can get it minus 120 right now. The one I like is Philadelphia in regulation against the San Jose Sharks. I like their defensive ability against the San Jose Sharks team, but more importantly, I actually think they have been creating offensive chances as of late. Looking at some of their past couple games, they have been able to create chances. Their power play looks better. But the thing that I like the most is that, their defense and their goaltending, I think, can shut down this San Jose team. So they've been also playing some teams, I think, that have been able to make them look a little worse than they actually are. So we'll see. When you play against a team like the Avalanche, it's going to make you look worse. And I think that even that game against the Devils that they won, they could have won by even more, but the Devils played pretty well defensively. Looking at one more here, I had circled. Oh, well, of course we have to mention this one, Anaheim and Pittsburgh. Anaheim continues to put on a show. I'm going to tell you, this is my dog of the day because I would respect the number if I got a better price on Pittsburgh here. I know it kind of opened up minus 117. It's trickled in a little bit here. I lean towards the Ducks in this side, Jeff. This is a number where I just think that I trust the offensive firepower of this Ducks team right now. They put up 7 goals against the Blackhawks, 4 goals against the Capitals. Game before that, they were absolutely shut out. 6 points, touchdown, plus the extra point, 7-0 against Utah. I think this game goes up and over the total, but I do lean towards the side of the Anaheim Ducks. So going to be a really good night. A handful of picks, getting ready to go out to clients for $5 Tuesday. And I will mention there's a handful of props that I do like. The first one I'll mention is Jamie Benn to record a point tonight. He's got plus 103 next to his name. It's a great matchup, and he has at least 1 point in 7 of his last 10 games. If I like Philadelphia, then I have to like some player props from them. Travis Konechny over 2.5 shots on goal is plus 115. One thing with me, Jeff, when I bet props these days, I want to be betting plus money. You know how it is with that winning percentage. I don't need my winning percentage to be 52, 53, 54 with player props. I think people really put themselves backwards by constantly betting 130s, 140s with player props. Head-to-head record with Travis Konechny in this particular matchup, he's done very well. If I look at his head-to-head last couple games, he combines for 12 shots on goal against this San Jose team. San Jose ranks 29th in goals against right wingers and 28th in shots on goal against right wingers. Those are 2 props that I like. And I'll tell you, there's one prop, unfortunately, that I do like for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and that is Nikita Kucherov to score a goal. He has had a lot of success against the Montreal Canadiens.
Last before I let you leave here, you buy into the payback spot, meaning St. Louis traveled to Boston over the weekend, and boy, the Bruins were ready for Monty, and now the Bruins traveled to St. Louis, opened at 161 St. Louis, now 140 at the Circa with a 5.5. Is it a good payback spot for St. Louis?
I find that one super interesting, Jeff, because I was curious the way the number would move. So I know that we like to watch the market and see where certain books are going, but a wise man named Jeff once said, respect the opening number. And you can use that for money line sports. You can use that for point spread sports. So it's like, okay, all right, minus 160 opening number. I'll tell you, this 5.5 here, I kind of like the over. And I typically look towards games when 2 teams are playing each other for such a short period of time, multiple times. First one goes over, I'll look towards the under and vice versa. But I see no reason why this one can't go over. This is the first game back after a road trip for the St. Louis Blues. This is a Boston Bruins team that, according to all of my metrics, their defensive numbers are falling off a cliff right now. So, you know, I think you could find a way to get in and dip in on St. Louis in some way, but I think we get some goals in this one. I think over 5.5 is the move. I would be shocked if we saw like a 2-1 snooze fest in this hockey game. I really would.
Scroll has been going the whole time. At McInnis picks at Wager Talk. You going live in 8 minutes. It is $5 Tuesday. Tell them what you got behind the paywall.
So far, just one hockey play, but going to have some other stuff up as well. You guys heard a couple plays that I'll be interested in as well. Might have a college basketball play up later. We'll find that out after the show. And you know what? NFL's been really good. Cashed another best bet player prop yesterday. And, well, it cashed by half a yard. So you know how it goes. When things are going well, they're going well. And when they're not going well, you'd lose by half a yard. So NFL player props are going really, really well right now. I think it's now in 9-2 run with the best bets with the player props. So look to keep it going, and you guys can get every single play at Wager Talk for $5 today. Oh, we also have a deal going, 3 days of NHL for $69. So, you know, one best bet is $25, one 5% play is $35. 3 days of all hockey plays for just $69. So look forward to it, Jeff. Cross your fingers for my Habs tonight. I'm nervous for the game.
Go follow Andrew at McInnis Picks at Wager Talk. He goes live in exactly 7 minutes. And of course, WT.Buzz /A&M. From myself, Jeff Dawson, at EC Sports Investor, the one and only Mr. Andrew McInnis at McInnis Picks at Wager Talk. Wish everyone a blessed day. Enjoy yourselves and stay warm.